Hello everyone, this is Jotto, and welcome to the Solforge Weekly Show. Now, this is the second part of the spoiler season that me and Moon are kind of doing. Say hi, Moon.
Hi everyone.
He's back.
Dude,
Anyway,
this week it was just insane how many spoilers.
we have like 22 cards, I think. It's crazy. We're just going to be rattling through some of them. Like, if it's not particularly good or interesting or something, we're just, like, going straight past it because there's so many cards, and otherwise it'd be like a 4-hour long show. So we're going to have to go through these ones faster, which is kind of weird because there are some really interesting cards this week. And some really weird cards, and a couple of tangents
really
here or there.
Excited for a couple of them.
Anyway, so without further ado, let's get started. Although one other thing, when the whole set comes out, we're gonna do like a set review type thing, and that will be 4 different videos, and I'll put them out from like, I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday or
It will
something.
also be really good quality because some of these pictures probably won't have that good of a quality because it's like from other sites and stuff.
I am going to like kill some people for this because what happens, and I'm not gonna say any names, but what happens is that some people spoil cards on videos and they don't post the images anywhere. So as a result, we get images like this. And it's annoying. Stop it,
This is
people.
also the first card.
It is,
we're gonna
but
talk
stop
about.
spoiling cards on videos without, like, and I'm not talking about reviewing spoilers. I'm talking about, like, being the only person with the image in the world, and you spoil it on a video in, like, 360p, and I want to kill myself for it, and it's just annoying. Anyway. But yeah, we are gonna do a full set review, and that's gonna be 4 videos, one for each faction, and then we'll like put them in order, and it's gonna be amazing. And we'll do like Aloyan, Necrium, 10-piece Utera, as we're gonna do it today as well. There's so many cards that you can't really do them in spoiler order. We're gonna be doing the Aloyan cards first in alphabetical, and then we're gonna do the Necrium cards, and then 10-piece, and then Utera. Anyway, on to the first card, Crucible Colossus. Now, this is a robot. It's an Aloyan card, obviously, since it's a robot. It is a 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 18, so pretty powerful on the stats. Defender. When you gain a rank, Crucible Colossus loses and can't gain Defender. This is insane in draft.
Yeah, it's really good in draft.
It's like a
because
bomb in
the body
draft.
the body is so good, and like in draft, it's really about trading up with with the cards that your opponents got to get value
Yeah.
out of one card.
It's like a better beta. Like, beta's better at
Yeah.
level 3, but at level 1 and 2, he's way worse. Like,
That's true.
way worse. Something random, by the way. If this sees constructed play, which it might, it's possible. I mean, it's a robot. It has huge stats. First of all, Necrium is the thing with epidemics, but it can be used in a more defensive variant. Say if you're running, I mean, AU, if you're running more of the late game cards, then you can run this, or AN, because you don't have to buff it to be powerful. Like AN or AT robots could run this kind of thing. It doesn't really work very well in AU because you're buffing up all your stuff and it's just kind of slow and awkward unless you're running some weird Krogia strat or something. But
It can be awkward,
yeah, AN and AT, they have their big stupid thing, and this is what it is, and it could work. I'm not saying it will, but it's possible.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
Some
last
people
thing.
might consider it for their constructed decks.
Maybe. One last thing. There was a white dragon that was spoiled. I'm going to go over it in a couple of cards, and people think that this goes with it, and I want to shake some sense into them, because that thing is based on having creatures with Defender, and this loses Defender. So,
Yeah.
no, that doesn't work. Like, oh, I rank up, my dragon dies. Okay. Yeah, moving on. So, let's move on to the first legendary, also known as the worst art in Solforge. I
Do you
think.
think so?
Look at the level 1. It's creepy.
It is creepy, but it's not the worst art.
It's so creepy. I feel uncomfortable looking
just,
at the
like,
art on
weird.
this card. Yeah, that's why I
weird.
say worst, because like most of the art in Soulforge, even if it's a bit sketchy at times, level 3 Master of Elements, is
It reminds me of Will Smith films.
that's
Will
a
Smith's
problem.
movies.
That's a problem. Like, the art itself is not bad in terms of quality, but it just makes me feel uncomfortable. So it's like I'm going to be really annoyed whenever anyone plays this against me, not because of the card, but because I have to look at the art. Apart from level 3 is pretty good. Anyway,
It's a legendary.
It's a legendary. It's an annoying card. 4, 7, 7, 10, 13, 16. So pretty decent stats. Little
Listen for
lackluster.
the effect it has.
Little lackluster at level 3. But anyway, the effect, at the start of your turn, level a level 1 card in your hand at random. That's on level 2. And level 3 is level 2 or lower at random.
Random is kind of weird, but yeah, people will make it work somehow.
Synapsis Oracle.
Both.
Why? Why would you ever run both?
All the levels.
Synapsis Oracle makes this thing look
Synapsis
horrible.
Oracle is like not so good on its own though.
But it levels what you want it to, which is a big deal. Like, okay, I'm playing against a mono Utera deck. It's nice that my Delphia just discarded my Justicar.
I'm actually interested what's happening if you play this with a Sharpblade Mutant. Does the Mutant discard first, or does the level go off first?
I should imagine it's probably the first one played. But we'll have to see how the triggers work there. I mean, it's just awkward because, I mean, the first thing people would say is, well, it's more chances to activate, but it isn't. Like, Synapsis has more health, it can be buffed by Weirwood, and if a Synapsis is buffed by Weirwood, it makes Delphia look horribly bad, even on stats. Like,
but to
that's
be honest,
a thing.
it would be way worse if you would also discard the card, which is not the case.
Oh yeah, you don't have to discard it. That is a point. Like, that you don't have to discard it. That does make it much better than at first glance, but it still feels like it's worse than Synapsis. It really does. I mean, someone's gonna get screwed where a Delphia is going to choose in your hand between a level 2 Gargoyle and like a level 1 Justicar or something, and it's gonna level the Justicar and you're gonna lose the game. Like, that is gonna happen at some point, probably in a major event if the Seas play.
It could be.
Like,
yeah, we have to see. I don't like random effects at all, and most people in constructed play obviously don't like random effects.
Yeah. The level 2's effect is interesting and is technically more powerful in Synapsis because all of your level 1s will become on level, which is nice. But the level 3 is horrible compared to Synapsis. Like, it's the same effect as Synapsis, level 3, but it doesn't get buffed by Weirwood Patriarch, dies more easily, and you don't get to choose.
Like, yeah, we have to see. It's a legendary. People will definitely try it out to the limit.
People will try it. I don't think it's that good though. Anyway, moving on. Meta transfer.
I like it. I'm not sure about you, but I like this card because now I actually get like a useful Electronet. It's a bit worse than Electronet, obviously.
Okay,
because you get like a decent effect.
I'm gonna say something, and I know that everyone in the world who likes Electronet is going to kill me for it. But this is good in draft. This is the positives. Okay, this is amazing in draft. Why? Because it's an Electronet that is not a feel bad. What do I mean by that? You Electronet their thing, but they leveled an extra creature than you, so you die later in the game.
Right.
But you just discard your creature. So congratulations, you leveled an extra card. And that's good. And it shuts down their big thing to some extent. Like, it makes an Ionic War Charger into a 1/7, nice 1/7 with mobility, bro. And you get to discard a thing, which is nice. It's basically it's the Technosmith of spells, and it shuts down decent sized stuff at all levels. The problem is, in constructed, I don't think it will see play, simply because it has like 2 cards, and 3 arguably with one of the spoilers that's coming up, but 2 cards in set 1 to compete with. Sonic Pulse, which is not even good enough for constructed and gives -3 to all of their things, and Epidemic, which makes this thing look like a joke.
Yeah, but some decks might not be able to play Epidemic. So
just play Sonic Pulse if you want this kind of effect.
Yeah, but you don't get the discard effect.
But then the effect is 5 times more powerful.
Sometimes you only need it on one effect, for example, on the new forgeborn.
To be
factory.
honest, I don't think this will see play. But first of all, one random thing though before we move on, I don't think this will see play. Moon's gonna disagree with me because he loves his minus attack effects. But this makes that Cryomancer or some not Cryomancer, the Aloyan card that discards cards to level them when you play a spell look worse. Because it's like, oh, I can play this dorky creature, or I can make your guy useless and do it. And it's a common. It makes the heroic look bad. That's a problem.
That's true.
Okay, moving on to, I think, the most overhyped spoiler I have seen so far. Like, I mean, overhyped unnecessarily. There are more overhyped cards than the spoilers, but this is the most overhyped for no reason, arguably. Now, okay, I'm gonna say a thing here. Moon called this. He said, in the last week, he was like, oh, we're gonna get a white dragon. I was like, but Gargoyle, like, they already have a white dragon. But no, they actually made a white dragon. They finished the cycle. We now have Arboris, which is unplayable. We have Doomwing, which is insane. We have Scorchmane, which is okay, and then we have Steelscale, which is horrible. But let's read this through first. So it's a 4/5 at level 1 with mobility 1. And if each other creature you control has Defender, it has the Arboris effect. It becomes an 8/9. It also gains Breakthrough, so it becomes an 8/9 with mobility and Breakthrough. If you only have Defenders or it's the only thing on your board. It's the Highlander effect, but with Defenders. Highlander effect with bonuses. Minus the armor. At level 2, it's +7/+7, and mobility 2 at base, and then at level 3, it's +10/+10, which is horrible, by the way. Okay, so the first level becomes an 8/9. The second level, like, that's insane. That's like Arboris level 1, it's ridiculous. The second one becomes a 14/9, also insane, Arboris level. The third one is the same size as a inactive Arboris. It's a 2021. It's the same size as Arboris, but you have to jump through a million hoops. Like,
Yeah, it's a really, really, really specific card and will only see play in really specific decks.
but there's so many things that can go wrong with this card. It's gonna get shut
Yeah.
down so easily.
There
Like,
is a lot of things to go wrong with this
what
card.
happens? Like the Colossus that people were saying, oh, it goes in your Steel Scale decks, right? Like the Colossus. The problem is, if the Steel Scale has taken 4 damage at level 1 and you rank up, the Colossus loses Defender and the Steel Scale dies.
Right.
Like, and this has also been a thing with Gargoyles, because Gargoyles gain Defender end of turn, which means on their turn, which is really awkward, on their turn but not your turn, it has Breakthrough in the bonus. But again, all they need to do is deal
There's
10
another
damage,
thing, though.
and it dies.
There's another thing though. Like I saw a thread on the forums, which is actually which was quite interesting to read. That people are forgetting about the fun of the game, and this card definitely will be fun to make.
No,
work.
it's fun. I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm saying that people need to stop hyping this for Constructed.
No, yeah.
Because that is what
don't
people are
overhype
doing, and I want to,
Don't,
like,
yeah, don't
so
overhype it.
annoyed. There's a really fun card coming up, by the way. It's called Mimicliff.
Yeah. One more thing. People are just really happy that they got their robot dragon.
Yeah, they got their Robot Dragon, but it's just like, I'm just looking at this card, and even Tiny Grimes did it. Like, he spoiled this card. Tiny Grimes tends to get all the really, really creative spoilers because of the kind of person he is. Like, he's on the Forge and such, and that's where the creative stuff comes, and so he gets all the creative spoilers from Metamart. And this is like the creative spoiler dragon, essentially. But the problem I had was the way people were reacting to it, like saying, "Oh, it's good and constructed." Like people were theory crafting gargoyle interactions with this thing. I'm just no. All you need to do is stick a level 2 in front of the level 3, and then as soon as you end your turn, the gargoyles lose Defender and the dragon dies. Like, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun to make it work though. So people will try, obviously.
It's like worse than a Boris though, and I didn't think they could make a dragon worse than a Boris, by the way.
Yeah, but people try to borrow.
You know the other awkward
And
thing with
they
this?
kind of failed.
The other really awkward interaction. With a Boris, if you play 2 of them, it's amazing, because they both get the bonus. With Steel Scale, if you play 2 of them, one of them dies.
Yeah.
Or just you get two 4/5s. Nice 4/5s. Like, so you can't level all three, otherwise your early game is horrible. You need to like discard stuff. You need to like play Stasis Warden with like spells and the new Electronet to discard your other dragons. But anyway, I don't like it. Some people do like it. I don't. Now, that's all the Alolan cards for this week. That's all of them. We only got 4. Unless I'm mistaken, but we only got 4. Which is kind of weird. Like, yeah, there were 3 earlier and I remembered, the Colossus. But we only got 4. And I was really weirded out by that, because we got tons of them last week. And we got, like, no Utera cards. But yeah, we only got 4.
I looked that up in the meanwhile.
You may want to hold off on that, because we are moving on to a new mechanic. Because the next card... Well, alright, so there's a bit of a story behind this. About a month ago, or a month and a half ago, the first thing that was said about set 2 was player level 4. Or, not player level 4, it was just level 4. That's all they said. Like, they said it on Twitter and everyone went crazy and they said, like, level 4. And that was their big reveal. Now, this wasn't the first Forgeborn spoiled, but it's in Necrim, so we're going to talk about this one first. And this is also a bit of a lore track for me. I love lore, personally. Like, on Solforge.com, they have the lore for the other Forgeborn we're going to talk about, Korok, who's in Tempest. And I really recommend you go and read that stuff, because it's amazing, and I really like the fact that they're putting lore in the game. And with the next one, Circe, they kind of put less lore on it. It was an article on Star City Games.
Sense, so?
Yeah, less lore, but there's still lore, and we actually discover some other stuff about Necrim and Tempest. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, so 2 days ago, or like, was it 2 days ago, or like yesterday or something? 2 days ago, I think. I get a message from Moon on Skype saying, "Oh yeah, new Forgeborn, by the way, new Forgeborn." And then this thing. Now, before we go into the actual card, the Forgeborn are equivalent to Planeswalkers for anyone who plays Magic. They're equivalent to Planeswalkers in Solforge. Basically, the idea is that they control sort of the magic behind the Solforge. It's kind of like Planeswalkers do in Magic, and so the player is in fact a Forgeborn as well, and you can use other Forgeborn as allies. So they're all supposed to go for go for training, and they all come from different factions and such. Now, the story behind this one is that Circe was a necromancer who died and was resurrected because they realized she was a Forgeborn. So they resurrected her, and the hand of the Necrim leader, who is called Varna. That's why Exrath is called Dread Knight of Varna. There is a typo in that, by the way. They still haven't fixed it. Yeah, it says Dread Knight with an N instead of KN, and whatever. Before anyone says, "Oh, it's just the Knight." Really? Dread Knight? With a moon? Are you serious? And I know I'm talking to someone called Moon, but it's just like, it's a typo. Get it done, guys. But yeah, Hand of Varna. So that's where she gets her name from, is that the Necrim leader gave her his hand, essentially. And his hand has this ability where whenever it touches anything, it dies. And so the flavor behind this card is that as she trains, she can kill more and more powerful things just by touching them, to the point when she's sort of at her max potential at level 4, but you can only draw on player level 4, as you'd expect. At a max potential of 4, when she touches a Forgeborn, it also dies. Now, this isn't at level 3 she can kill creature Forgeborn, but Forgeborn players. That's what I meant. Forgeborn players is the point. That's the flavor behind it. So now we'll just read the effect, and this is also, I'm very happy they made this, because Blightwalker is a rare and it's destroying constructed, because it's the only thing with this effect. Anyway, so level 1, it's a 1/5 with mobility 1 with the Blightwalker effect, which is insane. Put this in NT removal, put it in like weird Patriarch decks, you're golden. It's Blightwalker. We know how good Blightwalker is. It has mobility. Are you serious? Moving on. The level 2 is level 2 Blightwalker with mobility. Again, it's ridiculous. Okay, level 3. Now, Blightwalker is a 7/17, which synergizes well with the level 3 Weirwood, but not level 2 Weirwood. It was kind of weird. Like, level 1 and 2 get hit by the level 1 Weirwood, and then level 3 gets hit by 3 Weirwood, and it's just awkward. But this is 5 attack with 20 health. So, you don't need to level your Weirwoods. Just level them at level 2, buff your Circe, and then level 3, just play the level 2 one, buff your Circe again. Again, mobility, destroy anything. Okay. Now, the level 4. The level 4s are designed to end the game.
Yep.
Literally.
Hello, control decks.
Yeah, NT removal got a big boost because this thing with Lightning Brand level 2 literally ends the game.
One shot.
It's a one-shot kill. They said, alright, so basically, she can, every time she deals battle damage to a creature or player, then that thing is destroyed. So if she hits you, you die. Have fun with that one.
This thing has a ridiculous amount of health.
Yeah, it has more health than Thundersaur. It has the same amount of health as Krogius and kills the Krogius. It's, I mean, it's not quite as insane as like the Forge Guardian Exodia thing, but it basically, if you give this thing aggressive, you win the game. That's how this is gonna work, and it
Even
makes.
Without aggressive, it's gonna be quite hard to stop it actually.
I feel like this is. I don't think this is gonna replace Blightwalker. I think this is gonna replace Zemus. What's the point of having Zemus? Just play this.
Yeah, if you have him.
Like, there's the same counters.
You need a game ender. You need a game ender. Don't play Zemus. Just play this. Yeah.
There's the same counters. Like, this dies to level 2 Cold a week. Zemus dies to Justicar.
Yep.
It's the same counters. Only one of them's a spell, and the other one is a creature. I think it's better if your opponent's leveling spells instead of creatures, by the way, guys. But yeah, this thing is insane. Maybe the best card in the set, although I'm not sure. When this came out, everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's so much better than the other Forgeborn," which we'll get to later. But I actually disagree. I think the other one's crazier, and it's better for deck enabling. This is just insanely powerful, and it's obviously going to see play because it's insane. But
and
that's
I think you also
about it.
really want to speed up your game against Necro now.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Anyway, so we just had Cersei, who's an absolute powerhouse. Okay, so like constructed staple. Why? Why does this exist? Why does this need to exist? Like,
I know you hate the card.
6/5 at level 1 with when Dark Frost Reaper enters the battlefield, destroy each creature with 1 or less attack. Okay, it's a Necrim card. It makes sense at level 1, right? Be 1 or less. It's kind of like a heroic version of the Witch. Really hard to get value, but you never know. It might be quite good, and the stats are okay. Okay, so level 2, 9/7. When Dark Frost Reaper enters the battlefield, destroy each creature with 1 or less. Wait, 1? Why is that a 1? And it's the same at level 3. Why is that a 1?
I have a personal thing with Jotto. Basically, every card that he doesn't like, I will try to make it work. That's basically that's my plan.
Most of the time it doesn't work.
Him.
Every so often it does, but not most of the time. If you beat me with this card in like a deck consistently, then you are like the best.
I'm gonna make a video about it.
Yeah, you're like the best Solforge player in the world. Because this thing is. Why? Why would you? Why? Like, people are like, oh, it kills open Thunder Source. No, it doesn't. No one plays open Thunder Source without buffs. Like, they go Thunderstorm Patriarch, and you've got this Dark Frost Reaper in your hand, and you're like, It's good in draft. It has nice attack. It's worse than Glutton. At heroic. Why is a heroic? Why is a heroic worse in draft than a common? By the way, just one. I mean, you might first pick it. It's possible you might first pick it if there's no other decent heroics, because it's got Glutton stats. It's worse than Glutton, but it's got Glutton stats basically. It's nice attack thresholds. It's good. But in draft, this is just going to be a Vault Tactician, but worse.
Basically, yeah.
You will never get that. Although maybe it might kill a level 1 Scrapforge Titan.
Yeah. And to make it work in constructed, you need like a weird deck which I'm gonna show you.
Okay. Speaking of weird cards.
Death Current.
The first spell?
Shot.
The second spell we're looking at. Now, Yeah, this is Deadly Shot basically from
Anyone
Hearthstone.
playing Hearthstone?
Yeah, this is
Probably on
on
Jotto's channel.
on the Solforge team as well by the looks of it. Yeah, this is Deadly Shot. It's a level gated Deadly Shot. It literally is. That you can read the card. It's a level gated Deadly Shot. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it's good and unheroic because they can't play Dreadbolt or Epidemic or like any of the removal apart from Call of the Week.
Yeah.
They can play Cull because that's basic, but like Death Current, okay, it's a rare removal. It's not going to be good in draft because you never have one creature on the board in draft. It might be good in draft. I don't know. If you're drafting like insane amounts of removal, then sure. But I don't know. It's too random. It's too random. It's not even an insanely powerful effect. Like there are better. I mean, there's not better removal spells than this in terms of effect. But Dreadbolt and Cull will do pretty much everything this does. But you can click it.
Yeah, I prefer not having the random effect. It's good in draft though.
It's okay in draft. I mean, if you're trading continuously, it might kill something decent. It still feels kind of awkward. Although, and it's like all the creatures that it's gonna kill for sure die to other removal anyway, like Thunder Sword, Gargoyle, Predator, Devourer. These
And
stuff.
it's not
This
too
stuff.
bad against like
Yeah.
it's not too bad against stuff like Spring Dried in draft, I guess. Spring Dried might get out of control really quick, or Necro Slam.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, just fiddling around with Skype. Won't come up on the actual video, but I'm just fiddling around with Skype because people are messaging me. Anyway, moving on. So, we've just gone over the Dark Frost. Now, on to the reason why Dark Frost might be played,
might
possibly. Nah.
Okay.
Onyxium Phantasm. Really interesting with the names, guys. Also, why is a phantasm a human? Phantasm means ghost. It literally means ghost.
So spirit is what you mean.
Yeah, like, why is it a human? Anyway,
Yeah, it should be a spirit.
you can't even reanimate it. Like, if you reanimate a spirit, it becomes a ghost. Like, there's no excuse, guys. Anyway, it's an allied card. It's the third allied card we've seen, I think. But anyway, 2/7 at level 1 with Regenerate 1. Allied Lion, activate. Target creature gains -2 attack. Oh, gets -2 attack. It's permanent, so that's a plus. So it's permanent, but then you have to play a Lion, which is kind of awkward because you can't play Wayward Patriarch with it.
Yeah, it doesn't get the health bonus of a Weirwood, but you still have stuff like
I
Benedict.
mean, AN control could work with this because it just stops your gargoyles from being damaged. It stops your predators from being damaged. That's like your major threats.
Yeah, that's true.
And the regenerate, the stats are okay at all levels. I mean, if you could hit this with Wayward Patriarch, it would be insane. But the stats are okay at all levels, and the regenerate's pretty nice. Random thing though, if you have a low card collection and you just have an Onyxium Phantasm, you could play this with Wayward Patriarch if you have them.
Yeah, probably.
Because the stats are good. The Allied Lion is the major bonus, but if you don't have the other cards, you can play it. It's got good stats for it. But that's all I'm going to say on this card. I'm not sure. The effect is okay, but not being paired with Utera really hurts this kind of card, even with Battle Tactician.
Right. There was another thing with the other allied cards that you could actually play it as a mono version and only play the allied cards from the other faction.
You can't
That's
really
not
do that
possible
here.
with this card.
You need Call the Weak, and you need Predator, and you need like Epidemic and such to go with this.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not playable with this card, unfortunately.
Yep. Okay. Moving on to arguably my favorite removal spell that they've ever made. First of all, mentioning the name of a heroic on another heroic is hilarious. Yeah, X-Wrath being a heroic is kind of weirder the longer you look at it. But anyway, it's mainly for draft. But it's a spell. destroy target creature an opponent controls, only opponent, that is technically important here, with 3 or less attack. The next zombie you play this turn is free. Now the reason it says only opponent is so you can't go like Death Seeker, sacrifice Death Seeker, play X Wrath. Nice Soul Harvest that is actually good against them as well. Anyway, yeah, Soul Harvest needs a buff. This thing is like, if this is the reason why this can't target your own stuff, because otherwise it's like, oh, there's a Soul Harvest card and there's this X-Wrath's Will card at the same rarity. One of them is infinitely better than the other one. But yeah, this thing, it hits some pretty important stuff. It hits Arc Flights at all levels. It hits Battle Tactician at level 1, which is important. It hits all the level 1s at level 2, and the level 1 can play any zombie. That's sort of the important things here.
You didn't misread it. It's any zombie. That's actually crazy. Like,
it is kind of crazy, yeah.
It's really good.
I mean,
so you don't really need to level this part. You just play it whenever you can.
People are going to make the mistake of replacing Call of the Week with this in their zombie decks, and you shouldn't. I think you should play maybe 2 Call of the Weeks and 1 X-Rat's Will, or maybe 2-2. Because Call of the Week is better than this in terms of
don't
effect.
Don't replace it completely. I think 1 Call of the Week might even work. I have to try it out.
I think you may need 2, because Call of the Week level 2 kills Justicars, and it also kills Battle Tacticians at all levels. It's kind of important. Like the 4-8 14 is much more important than 3-6-12, because it just hits a bunch of extra threats, like unbuffed predators, for example. That's a big deal. I mean, I really want this to be good, and it's going to be good in your zombie decks, but sometimes it's just going to sit in your hand, because you can't even use it on your own stuff. It's just going to sit in your hand, you can't do anything with it, but the point is you can play it without... I would play it just to make your deck smaller. Like, play it to make your deck smaller, it'll kill some stuff, you get to play free zombies, it's amazing, but it's not a replacement to Call of the Week, and that's the mistake some people are going to make, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, if I recall correctly, that is all of our Necrium cards. So, moving on to the most interesting card in this spoiler thing. Ember Evoker. It's kind of weird. Anyway, 4/6 at level 1. Whenever a creature you control moves, that creature gains the bonus. It's not Windborn Hellion. It's better than Windborn Hellion, first of all. But level 2 is a 9, 11, 14, 16, which is actually really important, because it means if they cull the first one, they can't cull the second one to get the cull for the third one. That's kind of important, actually.
Yeah.
It's the cold, the weak, awkwardness thing, like with Weird Patriarch.
By the way, the naming of this card, we actually have to look over the dinosaur later. If it really is the other dinosaurs or the dinosaur itself, we have to look at that.
I think it's the other dinosaurs.
We come to it later.
I think it's the other ones. But anyway, Dinosaur Tribal. There's also Yeti Tribal. It's kind of hilarious. But anyway, and then +2/+2 and +4/+4 level 2 and 3. I'm not sure if this is good. Alright, the weird thing is, people at first were saying, oh, it's the extra punch you need in Windborn Hellion decks. The problem is, I think this is just going to replace Windborn Hellion.
You can even play with it.
But it's so kind of awkward. It's such a slow deck. You're playing like 10-piece with your Terra or Necrium aggro deck with the slowest creatures in the game. Like,
but if you get the effect,
I mean, Windborn. I feel like
it might get out of control.
I feel like Windborn Hellion is gonna be Windborn Hellion decks might just be changed to Emberwind Invoker decks, because this thing is including on itself. Like when you move a Windborn Hellion, it gains +1/+1 because it moves itself. But when this thing moves, it also gains +1/+1. By the way, guys. And it has bigger starting stats. Like this thing's starting stats are insane compared to the Windborn. And if you put Fervent Assault on this thing, level 3 Windborn Hellion gets +3/+3, or is it +4/+4? If it's 4/4, then it's the same. But like the starting stats are better anyway, so it just feels like a better Windborn Hellion. So people are like, oh, the Windborn Hellion decks are better now, and don't call them Windborn Hellion decks. Call them like Evoker decks. That's what they are now. They are Evoker decks.
Do you like the art as much as I do?
I think this is pretty close to Flame Shaper Savant. It's not quite there, but it's pretty close.
Pretty close.
Flame Shaper level 3 is much better. But
Mm-hmm.
why is the level
Level
2
1 seems
the
to be
best
good
one?
in the level 2.
Like, I think the level 2 is the best one here, which is weird for Solforge. Normally the level 2 is the worst one. But yeah, the level 2 is actually the best one here, which is really, really nice. I think the worst one is probably level 1, but that's still pretty good. So, yeah, I like the art. The card is pretty cool. I don't think it's going to be played with things like Gargoyle, which is what people thought it would. It might be, possibly, but there are stupider combos you can pull off with that card. So, I don't know. I don't think this goes in like AT robots or something like that, because there's too many important cards to level at that point, and it's not a robot, so you can't just cheat it out. So it's kind of awkward. But in the move decks, this is better than Windborn, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, time to move on to a card which we are going to spend about a minute talking about and make sure that you know how good it is. Flame Lance. It's a spell, deals 5 damage to a creature, or it's Lightning Spark, and then 5 to their opponent as well. And then at level 2, it's 7/7, and then 9/9. So you think it's better than Lightning Spark. Just remove your Lightning Sparks and put in your Flame Lances.
Like if you think about it, the level 3 Lightning Spark, you really rarely played it.
You like never play it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like the level, I mean, it kills something important to note. The level 2 kills level 2 Arclight Squadron, which is important. Because that's like the only reason you'd level like the Spark at first. And
Yeah.
it's the same with Leafkin, by the way. It kills the level 2 Leafkin as well. The only 2 reasons why you level a Lightning Spark at level 1 anyway. But anyway, this thing is ridiculous because if you Flame Lance, you'll Flame Lance like you'll Lightning Spark maybe 2-3 times a game. If you Flame Lance 2 or 3 times a game, that's 15 damage, or 22, or like
Which adds up.
30. It adds up, like with
Really
your
adds up.
mobility and your aggro decks, and this is just crazy. Like people have been saying, oh, this goes in aggro, in 10-piece aggro, right? It just goes in all your 10-piece decks. It goes in all of them. But that's all I'm going to say. Also in draft, this is ridiculous.
It will be a staple.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to Glacial Crush, complete with mouse and screenshot. Yeah, that's not my fault. That was actually on the screenshot. But anyway, it's a common.
The art is weird.
The art is weird. Yes, it's like a time bomb glacial crush thing. But yeah, anyway, destroy target creature an opponent controls with defender, and then at level 2 and 3 it's free. Now at level 3, it deals damage equal to its health to that. It deals damage to your opponent equal to its health. Now, if you have enough Uranti bolts in draft, this can be good. In constructed, I would see playing it as like a 1 or a 2 of tech card, deal with Thundersoar in 10-piece, because you can go Uranti Bolt, Glacial Crush, and that'll kill it. And you say, but it's card disadvantage. But then the next time you do it, it's free. And the next time you do it, they take 40. Like,
Basically, yeah. I mean, it also kills gargoyles, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, because it gives it self-defender. That's really
Yeah.
awkward.
Like, this is the gargoyle killer, dude.
This will murder gargoyles. Like, dude,
Bye-bye, gargoyle, damn, Jotto.
my AT robot deck just infinitely won the mirror. But anyway,
And it's not even level gated, it just kills it. It just kills the gargoyle. Goodbye.
goodbye. I mean, to be honest, this is kind of weird
It's
to
too
have.
strong against gargoyle.
It just kills the gargoyle. Unless they jetpack it, and then you feel really awkward. But yeah. Also, something random. You can just glacial crush the defenders in the defender deck.
Yeah.
Like, actually, if you Uranti Bolt Glacial Crush the dragon, I don't care if I just 2-for-1'd myself. You don't have any other offensive creatures. Like, that's the only threat on
But
the
if you
board.
don't have defensive creatures, and the dragon is itself on its board, it gets the effect as well.
Yeah, but then that's kind of
It's on
weird.
its own on the
Because
board.
if you're only playing one creature, then you're just asking to lose. Like, as soon as you play another creature, and you have to level all 3 dragons, and as soon as you play a second dragon, the first one dies, it's just awkward. But anyway, enough about the dragon. Glacial
People will
Crush.
play Glacial Crush with Stasis Warden.
Oh yeah, with Stasis Warden, this is hilarious. But apart from the fact that the trigger goes off before the glacial, but you can't target the glacial, so it's kind of awkward. But with your anti-bolt, like your anti-bolt that, and then glacial crush it is really important. But yeah, I think this is actually like a 1 or a 2 off tech card in every single Tempest deck.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, even though
Super
it's a
strong.
common, we will see it in constructed. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean Tempe's got a massive buff, and that is my Thundersaur answer. Thank you. I wanted my Thundersaur answer. Anyway, moving on to the king is here. It's Korok, the Khan of Kadras, also known as Law Story number 41 or 1 actually. But anyway, he was the first forgeborn spoiled, literally 4 hours after we finished recording last week's episode. By the way, I was really
See if
annoyed.
this happens today again.
What, they're just like, oh, they finished, they uploaded it. Okay, we can unveil the next Forgeborn now, just to annoy Jotto and Moon. Anyway, but the lore behind this guy is crazy. We learned so much about Tempest and everything. I encourage you to go read it. But just a brief run over. First of all, he's called the Khan of Kadras because he went to train as a Forgeborn, and the Tempest tribe is divided up into several sort of sects, where you have the fire tribe that sort of rules everything, and then you have the glacial one, which has their own king, which is the one we saw from last week. It was Glacius. And then we have the earth tribe, which is where he comes from, and they're sort of like the more peasantish people and things like that. And then there's like lightning, and there's all the elements basically. Which is why if you look in the art, in each art picture, he's using a different element. So there's like wind, and then the third, in level 3, like the ground is starting to freeze, and then level 4 it's fire. That's supposed to be like the Tempest thing, is elements. The other thing, this is like the most perfectly crafted flavor card in the world, by the way. The other thing is, he's from the Earth tribe, which is very physical. That's why he's aggressive, and that's why he's like really, really strong in terms of the health. Because he's really resilient. And the actual art is showing his story of how he became the king of Tempest, essentially. Because the way Tempest works is that every single year there's a fight for the ruler, because the strongest one wins basically, and it's the last one standing. And it's always 3 people, which is why in the third piece of art there's 3 people there. But the winner is crowned sort of the Fire King, essentially. And he rules pretty much all of Tempest. But when Korok went to train as a Forgeborn, he met people from the other factions, which Tempest normally hates, and he came back to sort of convince the leader that they actually weren't that bad and they should stop attacking them. And when he didn't listen, he basically decided to join this duel, and he won because he's a Forgeborn. He's crazy powerful. But he won, and he sort of took the Khan thing off him. And which is why in the last thing it's fire, because he became sort of the Fire King type thing. And that's actually what the art is. Like the mountains and such is where they fight for rulership. Like mountains with lava and everything. Like the art tells his lore story. It's insane.
It's really good.
It's the best like told lore of any card I have seen if you actually read it. It's ridiculous. I mean, I was so excited about this card when I saw it, not because of like the effect or anything, as everyone else was, but because the lore is insane, and I do suggest you go read it. But anyway, as for the actual card, I had to do that little spiel. As for the actual card, 4/6 at level 1 with aggressive. Okay, Ashurian Mystic, you have been replaced.
Yep.
At level 2, he's a 7/10 with aggressive. Still better than the Ashurian Mystic, okay.
Best aggressive creature.
Each level 1 creature you control gains aggressive. So basically, you know that really awkward hand where you get like level 2, level 1, and double level 1s? Let's just give them all haste. Okay, and the funniest...
Get some value out of them, actually.
Funniest interaction, by the way, is... You know those really awkward underleveled arc flights you get in player level 2? Korok, arc flight, activate, arc flight, activate, gargoyle. Like that's the dream hand. You just level your whole hand.
That's Magical Christmas Land.
Magical Christmas Land is like... We'll get to that later. But anyway, the level 3 is a 12/15, which again is insane. And the level 2s get it, which again is ridiculous because you draw a bunch of level 2s in level 3. The level 4 is an 18/22. That is the strongest Tempest creature, basically, besides Scorchmane Dragon.
Plus it has aggressive.
And aggressive, and each other creature you control gains aggressive. By the way, you can use this on the other Forgeborn. Now that's Magical Christmas Land. Player level 4, you go Korok, Circe, you're dead.
Uh,
Magical Christmas Land. But anyway,
okay.
yeah, the other thing is, this is not Magical Christmas Land, by the way. Level 4 Korok, in your Terra 10-piece decks, any level of Leafkin, 4 11/11s with haste that replace each other. Like, you don't quite understand how this works. There's another card coming up called Mimiclif, which is an 11/11 at level 3, and people are like, oh, do that with Korok. No, I just do Leafkin, because you don't need the level 3, you just need a level 1 Leafkin, and you go, Leafkin, aggressive, activate,
Dude,
aggressive,
it's like-
activate, aggressive,
It's like
thing,
so
thing,
many
thing,
clicks.
thing.
Imagine that.
Your opponent is just watching them slowly die, and it takes like 20 minutes to do the whole combo. But there's other ones like Echo Wisp. Level 2 Echo Wisp, 16 damage. What about level 1 Ether Hounds into level 3 Weirwood Patriarch? That's 28 plus, what, 15 damage plus Korok. Good luck living that. It's just, the level 4 is so powerful. I think the power level on this card is as high, if not higher, than Phoenix, which is saying a lot.
Yep.
Also,
It's higher.
the mustache at level 4. That is that thing in front of him, like this thing here with the tubes, that is not ceremonial. That is a casing for his mustache. If you look at the art close up, like you can see it on the article they did about the lore. It's literally his mustache. It's insane. Like, freaking, they weren't taking that seriously. Like, I'm expecting if there's an alternate art for Korok, it's just gonna be like a guy with a huge mustache, like twirling it.
Probably.
Yeah. They're gonna do that
The
at
art
some
is
point.
just so amazing on this card.
It's one of the best pieces they've done, I
Good.
think. The art in set 2 is in general insane.
Yeah. There's some weird ones, but
I think this is the best card that they've spoiled so far. I think. The best single card. Like, I think this is even stronger than Circe.
I think so as well.
Simply because Circe is a powerful card, but this makes its own decks.
Yep.
Like, nice mobility, by the way. Mobility with aggressive. Have fun with that one. Or what about shamans with aggressive? Shaman, activate shaman. Or Abraxas with haste. Have fun with that one.
Yeah.
There was some other crazy ones that we came up with. Like, there was Abraxas with haste. There was
Abraxas.
Succubus with haste. There
Yeah.
was, like, there's the new Utera legendary that has, like, cultivate on an active. Okay. There's so many crazy things. Or what about, you know that Thundersaur, which if you play and then they kill it because you didn't get to attack and into it? Yeah, just play it with Korok on the board. You get your attack boost straight away. There's so many crazy things with this card. I think that this card's going to be insane. Personally. I want to see what the other two Forgeborn do, because the first two Forgeborn are like constructed staples, which I expected them to be. Like, they're designed to be insanely powerful. That's kind of what they're supposed to
Yeah.
be.
I really hope to get those cards. Like, it's
Hmm.
actually not that easy to get certain cards. Like, in my current set, I'm not having that many 3 of legendaries, so I really hope to get a hand on this card.
I think I want one of the Forgeborn at least. One of the Forgeborn I like a 2 of would be nice.
Yeah.
Or maybe a couple of the Forgeborn or something. But the interesting thing is that even the Forgeborn at the moment, you don't have an excuse for not playing a 1 of. Like, even if it's not good in your deck, you just play a 1 of because of it. Like, if you keep leveling it, it will win you the game. At some point, it will win you the game.
It will literally win you the game.
It will literally win you the game. And the other Forge one I want to see, also in set 3, Stoneblade, I want to see allied Forgeborn.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Like, make a Forgeborn that's just like maybe a 4/6 with allied a color and then some crazy effect. Do it. I want to see that in set 3. But anyway, set 2 first. Moving on. Now, this is weird card. Thundergale Invoker. So, I'm not even sure if I want to read the level 2 and 3 because there's no point. They all do the same thing. Level 1 is a 3/3 and then 7/7 and 11/11. When Thundergale invokers enter the field, each creature you control adjacent to it moves one space away if they can. So basically, you're gonna play this as a one-of in mobility decks and or any 10-piece deck and never level it ever until it's used to kill them. It's like Jetpack.
It's like a double jetpack.
Yeah, it's like a double Jetpack. I mean, the funniest interaction with this one, by the way, is Thundersaur. Move your Thundersaur. Like, move your Thundersaur out the way so you get your double triggers. But the other thing is Grimgaunt Predator is crazy with this thing. Put Grimgaunt in front of a small thing, eat that thing, move it along to the next guy. Like, you can...
Yeah, that's nice.
You can... I mean, it's not as powerful as the Shaman in terms of effect or in terms of stats. But the Shaman's level gated. This is not level gated. Like Windcrawler Shaman, you need to have it leveled. This does not need to be leveled, and that's the important bit, I think.
That's really important, yeah.
In draft, he's
That's
also
why
pretty
it
good
makes
as
this
a
card
one-off.
actually good, and that's why the level 2 and 3 stats are actually like kinda like unimportant.
Yeah, I mean, in draft, I would not pick more than one, but I would pick one.
Mhm.
I would definitely pick one, but I'd never pick more than one. It's kind of like Jetpack.
What do you do with Constructed though? You play it as a one-off?
Yeah, one-off. Never two, never three, just one. Because
Okay.
sometimes he's amazing, but you never want to be forced to play this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the worst creature in the game to level. Anyway, moving on to what were they thinking? Uranti, Yeti, I guess. But
Weird card.
yeah, there's two sets. There's two like parts of this set. There's weird, and then there's insane. There's no middle ground, I've noticed. Anyway, Uranti Heartseeker. He's a creature type Yeti, which is actually important. 4/4, 9/9, 15/15. Defender. Active. Uranti Heartseeker deals 4 damage to another target creature or player with exactly 4 health. When is the player ever going to have exactly that amount of health, by the way? At level 2, it's 9, and at level 3, it's 15. I don't
Weird.
know. Like, the
You
level...
need to play so many ping effects to make this work. Like so many minus or static shock or whatever.
I don't know. Like, the level 2 hits Gargoyle, which is nice. But then it has it has armor, but it's still going to deal damage, and it hits Predator. The level 3 hits X-Wrath and like Lyria. I get no Lyria is like 14/14. Doesn't even kill Lyria. What else does this kill? Need some help here. What Inconstructed has 15 life?
Technosmith.
One Inconstructed has 15.
Yeah, you don't really play him in Constructed. X-Wrath, yeah.
X-Wrath and ... But they're like all in different decks. So it's just weird. I don't know. Like someone's gonna. This is a have fun trying to make this guy work card.
It's like hello Moon, you wanna play this card?
Like
Oh.
I'm in Constructed. I don't really play decks. Like I do test them, but I don't tend to play decks that everyone else is playing. I come up with my own stuff and try and make it work. And not even I want to touch this thing. Like I'm a theory crafter for decks.
So maybe Yeti tribal though. So people will try this card.
There are way better Yeti tribal things than this.
Just saying, we will come
Way better.
to it with the next card probably.
Yep. Anyway,
It's weird that it's a heroic though.
it's really weird. I think that's just so you don't see it in draft. Because you know that this is going to be the only heroic in like the entire game where you just see it. Like, it's the only heroic where you see it last pick.
Yeah, but your opinion, it doesn't make sense that you don't want to see it in draft, like because this might be like a first pick, and you don't want this as a first pick. Like heroic cards are supposed to be first picks. And
Yeah, this is really awkward because it's gonna be a heroic which you see last pick, which is really weird. Like, you're gonna see it last pick with some stupid spell like Druid's Chant, and you're gonna take the Druid's Chant. It's that bad in draft. You're never gonna use it in draft. Actually, no. It's better than Druid's Chant because you can play it in front of something and block it for 1 turn.
Yeah, and maybe jetpack, yeah.
Moving on to an actually powerful Yeti.
Like, moving on.
Moving on. One thing before we move on. The art on this thing, the level 2 and 3 look insane. The level 1, his arm looks like a wing.
Yeah.
It really does. His arm looks like an armored wing thing, like behind him. But he's a fire yeti, and he's a warlord. He's Uranti warlord. He's a fire yeti, which is kind of important lore-wise, because the fire ones rule the other ones. But anyway, 3/7 at level 1. Weirwood Patriarch, and he goes in Yetis. So, like, Fire Fist, Uranti with Weirwood Patriarch decks. Love this guy. When Uranti Warlord enters the field, it does 3 damage to each creature an opponent controls in the same lane as a Yeti. That includes himself, because he enters the field and then deals damage. Then level 2 is a 6/10 with 6 damage. Level 3 is 12 damages and 12/7.
So if you use him for trading, it's actually extremely good. Like, it's a 6,
Yeah.
7,
By the
12,
way,
10.
first pick in draft, because he is like on when you're blocking with him, he is effectively a 6/7, 12/10, 24/17. He kills giants
Killed a lot
without
of
dying. Like, he's so powerful. And if you get multiples of him in draft, if you don't go 4-0, because they are changing that to 4 games instead of 3 now, which is a bit of controversy behind that one. But anyway, 4 games instead of 3. If you don't go 4-0 with like 3 of these guys, then you just should not play Solforge. Because you just play Uranti, and then next turn go Uranti, and then next turn go Uranti, and if you draw multiples in these next, you just nuke his board. It's
so good.
Like insane. And this is the dream scenario, by the way. This is the absolute dream scenario. Turn 1. Turn 1. You go first, so your opponent has no creatures. Turn 1, you go Fire Fist Uranti. Turn 2. Like, your opponent plays the largest creature they probably could in front of it. Like, Phoenix is pretty much the largest thing they could put in front of it, right? Apart from, like, Thundersword, but no one puts a Thundersword in front of a Fire Fist Uranti.
Talisman.
No one plays Talisman.
Stuff like that.
I
They are big creatures.
guess, but anyway, it'll kill it in this combo. It'll kill it anyway. But you have to lose your Fire Fist. It's kind of awkward. Anyway, so they put Phoenix in front of him. It's probably the largest thing constructed that will be played, apart from maybe Thundersword. But no one puts a Thundersword in front of a Uranti unless they're dumb. So then you go Uranti Warlord, deal 3 damage to the Phoenix. Weirwood Patriarch, trigger on your Fire Fist Uranti, kill the Phoenix, attack for 3. You now have a 3/8, a 5/9, and a 4/7 without, and he has no creatures, without you doing anything out of your way to do it.
It's the dream scenario.
Yep, and the other,
Not even that rare. If you think about
it's
it.
not even that rare. Like, the amount of times people have lost to, like, Fire Fist Uranti, turn 2 Fire Fist Uranti Weirwood, turn 3 Weirwood.
Don't remind me of those times.
Yes, but anyway, this guy is pretty crazy.
Don't remind me of those times.
This guy is pretty crazy, and he might even be a reason for Uranti Cryomancer to see play. And like, actually, no, if you look at the Firefish deck, as I call it, the Weirwood Patriarch Firefish Uranti deck, that deck already plays Warbringer Uranti in some versions and Firefish Uranti. And if you add 3 Uranti Warlords, that's 9 Yetis. 9 Yetis is enough to make this guy go off, considering he benefits off himself.
Yep.
If you play Uranti Cryomancer, you're always going to have a Yeti when you play this guy, and you're just going to kill 2 things. And Uranti Cryomancer, people laugh at it, but it does benefit hugely from Weirwood Patriarch. It's worse than Firefist Uranti, but I would not rule out playing maybe 1 or 2 of them just to give your Yeti count a bit of a boost. Because he's playable. Like, he's playable if you have Uranti Warlord and Weirwood Patriarch. He's not playable if you don't. He's playable if you do. And I think this is insanely powerful. And I think Yeti Tribal will be a thing. Like, Utera 10-piece Yetis will actually be a thing. That's not something I ever thought I'd say.
Yeah. Will be like tier 1 to 2. Like not tier 1, but 1.5 to tier 2, I guess.
We'll see. Anyway, let's try and speed this up a little bit, because we're going on to the Utera cards. We just hit an hour. I thought this would be longer, because we're doing like twice as many cards. But anyway, we're to start in the entire, out of all the spoilers, like the not worst or anything, flat out weirdest. What's going on in the level 3?
It's like
It's staring at me.
it's aliens.
It's we come in peace. It's we come in peace, and we will infect your entire board. Now, this is the kind of card which we had an argument about this on Skype actually when this came out. Because when Moon's at work, he can still like message me on Skype and such, and
Don't tell us on the video.
but anyway, he can still like talk to me and
Just
such
kidding.
every so often. And whenever a new spoiler comes out, we'll spend like 5 minutes talking about it, and then when he actually comes back, we'll probably have a call every so often and talk about them. But this is one of the cards which we actually had an argument in typing. Like, we never do that. We never have arguments in typing. We have arguments about cards on the call because it makes more sense. Because it's less finicky. But this is now. Before I started playing Weird Alloy decks, I actually was playing Tarsus Death Bomb decks, of various different kinds. And so, first thing,
Or 20 versions of Delver decks.
yes, basically my history with Tarsus Death Bomb is ridiculous. I went through 20 iterations of it to get to where it is now, and it's probably gonna throw in like another 20 iterations before I get it correct when Set 2 comes out. But this thing, the first thing that came up is when it activates, it copies itself, but then the copy also has this ability. So you can go copy, and then turn 3, copy, and turn 4, like healing itself on the wall thing. The problem is Epidemic, but yeah, Epidemic, just undo your last 3 turns.
One thing you need to mention though, it's not an exact copy. It's just a copy
Yeah.
of the basic minion.
It's not an exact copy, unfortunately. We thought at first like you could enrage it and then copy, and then you get 5 5s, and
would be
then
kinda
4
good,
5
actually.
5s,
Pretty
and
good.
then so you just go Mimicliff, and then turn 2 you go double enrage, make an 8 8. Turn 3 make 2 8 8s. Ferocious roar, make just run
Okay.
Mimicliff plus buffs. But and it's just because it's not an exact copy. It's just a baseline Mimicleaf, which is horrible. Like, it's so much worse than Leafkin. It makes copies and it makes 5 5s and then 11 11s. But then level 1 is worse than Aetherhounds, and level 2 is worse than Aetherhounds because it's a turn faster, and level 3 doesn't get buffed by Weirwood Patriarch, and if Aetherhounds gets hit by it, it's then still worse than Aetherhounds, one of the worst leveling cards in the game. And Echo Wisp laughs at this thing. They're both just as vulnerable to Epidemic, essentially, because like the Mimicliffs will get reduced to 1/1s, which is kind of awkward. But then at level 3, the Mimicliff comes down. It's like, okay, in 4 turns I will kill you, and the Echo Wisp is like, okay, I'll kill you next turn. Because just make 5 10 5s, and they're basically dead. So he's so awkward. I just don't think he's that good. Even with Korok, like people are saying, oh, Korok the Gardener. That's actually what people are referring to. Korok the Gardener, where you play Mimicliffs and like Leafkins and things like that, and they all gain aggressive, and you get your Mimicleaf combo, and you get like your level 3 Mimicleaf, and you get 4 11 11s with your Korok level 4.
Yeah, but it's just
Magical Christmas Lad. Or you could just go Korok plus any level of Leafkin. And it's actually more powerful because then you get any level of Leafkin, and
Not even that
Leafkins
good
are
with
stronger than this.
Tarsus.
It's not even that good with Tarsus. Yeah, Leafkin is stronger than this with Tarsus.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. I mean, it does benefit from the next card we're going to go over because it is creature type plant, but you can't cultivate it, guys. By the way, it's not a sapling, or like a seedling or whatever it needs to be. But it is creature type plant, so that's important, I guess. Unless cultivate gets changed to like convert a plant, which it might, because cultivate is going to join the sort of set of heroics, which is legendary creature's ability on a card. With this next card, which I'm going to go over right now. Now, first of all, I love Blight Tusks. Blight Tusk is like the best creature type in the entire game. I love my Blight Tusk Sowers, and I love my Elephants, and I love like my Weirwood Patriarchs, and I love my token things, and I love the elephants behind them, okay? Yeah, Nuada, is that how you say that? Nuada Faith's Flourish. It is a elephant sage. That is the best thing ever. But anyway, it has
one of the most exciting cards that you
yeah,
thought about.
yeah. It has Defender, which is important. is a 110, 217, 425. So it's a defender that can only be cold or it will never die.
Yep, basically.
And that active is Cultivate, by the way. That is a Cultivate on a stick, on a creature.
Like it has more health than the Eloyan one, which is what's his name right now? The level up card.
Has
The
so
Nexus
much
Oracle.
more. Like, I mean, if you want the dream scenario, you go Nuada. Like, you go Nuada in lane 1, Blight Tusk Sower, or like Nuada in lane 2, and then Blight Tusk Sower in like lane 4, token in the middle, make it into a 7/7 so you can't play your Battle Tacticians anymore, by the way. And then you can do crazy stuff like Phytobomb, make a 21/21.
Yep, this card might seem really slow at first, but it really isn't.
But it's
Like, if you get
super
the effect
explosive. Like, this thing looks slow, but I don't think it's gonna matter once you're making 14/14s every single turn on turn 5.
Yep, and if you think about it, in the current metagame, people are playing Half Tree, which is like the slowest card in the game.
Also, you know that Wildwood Patriarch, the sower thing that we saw recently? What, like Wildwood Sower or something? The spell one where you make 1/1.
Yeah,
There was actually a deck
it was
on
on the Forge.
It was on the
It was
Forge,
on the
yeah.
Forge episode.
That deck would love this thing because you just go Static Shock, make a token, return it into a 7/7.
Yep.
And then you go like Cultivate, make a token, make another 7/7. You just 7/7s for everyone. But this thing is, I mean, Cultivate was always a problem to level, but this thing sticks on the board for a couple of turns. You will eventually get a seedling on the board.
Unfortunately, it's a legendary. I was hoping it's a heroic, but
I mean, it has to be a legendary, because otherwise you're just going to be like, oh, first pick Nuada, Blight Tusk, Grove Matriarch, Blight Tusk, Grove Matriarch,
true.
and like, oh,
That's
there's a Phytobomb. I just got my 4/0, but yeah, this thing would be stupid in draft. That's why it's legendary, I think.
that's why
Also,
yeah, okay.
it's Cultivate on a creature, so it kind of has to be legendary.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, it sucks, kind of, but it's nice that it's also legendary.
I
Anyway,
really like the art.
art is crazy. Level 2 is the best piece. Again, why is the level 2 the best piece? What is like set 2, the level 2 is the best piece, and then in like set 1, level 3 was, so in set 3, the level 1s are going to be the best piece? I don't know. But, moving on. Now, this is a very dangerous card that's coming up here. I'm not quite sure whether it's very dangerous or just not really. Solstice Reveler. 4488, 1616, Ferocious Roar and a rank up.
First of all, art is pretty good.
The art's ridiculous, yeah. Like, even the bloom, like,
Like, it's so shiny. It reminds me of the Life Shaper 7.
it kind of does, yeah. It actually does. Like, the level 3, the bloom is kind of ridiculous on the orb thing, but the art, it does look like Light Shaper. It really does. But anyway, the gain a rank thing, it's 224488 with breakthrough, so it's super roar, upper levels. It feels so dangerous. It's like so close to being incredibly dangerous, but I'm not quite sure if it's quite there. Again, this is legendary because if you get this, you never want people to get multiples of these in draft ever.
That's true.
Never, because like you just go. Imagine like people get Avalanche Invokers in like 2-ofs in draft sometimes, and they get them both before ranking, and then you're dead. If your opponent goes Solstice before ranking up, they now have 2 8/8s.
Ouch.
That's fun. It's not fun.
I think we will see we will see definitely playoff it.
I mean, this goes in 2 decks for me. Mono Utera. No, 3.
Yeah, definitely.
3 decks. And one of them I'm kind of scared of. Although, it does not
Could
go
even
in.
Tempest.
It does not go in AU. It does not go in AU decks because they're all about tempo and getting creatures on the board and getting correct creatures at the right times and getting another creature in your deck that has to come down at a certain time. It's just awkward when you want to level your gargoyle instead.
Right.
It's just kind of weird. So yeah, I don't think it will go in AU decks. It might go in Synapsis variants of AU as opposed to Robots variants. But it goes in Firefish with Urantes.
Yeah.
It goes in Mono Utera. Like, it really goes in Mono Utera. And it goes in, like, Death Bomb. That's the 3 decks this goes in. I'm not sure if it's very, very good in any of them. All I know is that it's a rank up, which is, I mean, as soon as I see rank up, I'm really skeptical.
If you think about this card, it actually becomes pretty good if it gets hit by any level of ferocious war,
Yeah, but I mean, that's true with most cards.
even without defense.
But the problem I have with this is that rank up to me has to be absurdly powerful before it's even usable. In the case of Glacius, that effect is literally game changing.
Yeah.
I think the level 2 and 3 of this are game changing, but it kind of feels like it's a more dangerous version of the thing that doubles if you rank up. Can't remember what it's called. Anyway, it's a 4/4 that becomes an 8/8 if you rank up, and then an 8/8 that becomes a 16/16, and then 16/16 that becomes a
Also,
32/32.
Seeing this card, I think we will have Epidemic as a staple in the next set.
Oh yeah, Epidemic is going to be everywhere. People say, "Oh, Epidemic's dead. We were a Patriarch, and we were a Patriarch, and we were." People still playing Epidemic. Epidemic is like the card that has been pronounced to be dead the most out of any card in the game, I think. Never has, but everyone thinks it will. Anyway, moving on to a card that I need to talk about because it's not good and people think it's good. This isn't good. Stop it. It's not good. Like, I want Poison to be good, okay? I really want Poison to be good. It isn't good. Like, okay, so the level 1 is 2 Poison, which is okay. I mean, it's worse than Venom Fang. It's worse than Toxic Spore. I mean, Venom Fang is amazing. And actually seeing Constructed play quite a lot actually now in Mono Utera and even some of the other damage spreading decks. But being worse than Toxic Spore at level 1, are you serious? That's not even a high pick.
Doesn't get the free effect.
Instead, it does 6 damage a turn. Like, this feels like Ghastly Touch versus the... I can't remember what it's called. It's like Crippling Blight or something. Where it's -1/-1, and then free, -2, -2, -3, -3 with free.
Contagion Surge.
Contagion Surge, that's it. That's what it feels like. And that card looks really good. It's the same with Primal Surge. It looks really, really good until you play with it, and it's horrible. And this feels like much of the same. I mean, the level 1 is more playable than Contagion Surge and Primal Surge, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there will be another card which, like, Stoneblade wants to buff Poison, so...
I mean,
we might.
This might see play in Constructed, but not in Draft. That's the weird divide here. Like, in Draft, you might pick it if you absolutely have to, but in Constructed, there's another spoiler coming up which helps Poison, but then Venom Fang is just way better with that thing than this thing.
Yeah, maybe you want to play both.
You might play it because it's free. Also, even Noxious Cloud becomes powerful with the new card. But
could also, like, we have some... Like, there are some... new level up mechanics, and maybe you will play this part.
The last thing I want to say on this is 2/3/4, just to like completely stop this whole versus the current Poison. This is 2/3/4, as opposed to 3/6/12. Like 12 Poison will kill anything basically, apart from Scrapforge Titan in Draft. 12 Poison kills pretty much anything in 2 turns. And that's the important thing. This will not kill anything. Like, okay, it's on my giant. I guess it'll die in 6 turns after you've already been dead for 3 of them. That's the problem.
It might help trading, though.
It might help with trading, but it feels like a worse Venom Fang in Draft, because the Poison is the same. Like, Venom Fang is
Draft I wouldn't even pick it, I think.
Venom Fang is like 1, 2, 4. This is 2, 3, 4, but then you don't get a body. I know it's free, but you don't get a body, which is kind of important, so... Same rarity. Yeah. Moving on. Dinosaur Tribal. Also, why does this thing look like it has metallic armor? I know it's supposed to be bone plating thing, but it looks like a robot.
I love the name.
Yes, Pterodon Rex. You're very clever, Stoneblade. But for some reason, the armor at level 3 looks kind of robotic, which is weird. But anyway, 2, 7, 6, 11, 11, 18. Okay, we're at Patriarch at level 1. Not level 2 and 3, though. Kind of awkward. Really awkward at level 2, by the way. 6 attack. Really, guys? You really put that at 6 just to mess with Weird Patriarch, didn't you? Anyway. When another dinosaur you control enters the field, it gains +1/+1.
Jotto, it.
Yes,
It
I
seems
know.
like it seems like it's Pterodon itself.
No, no,
Read
it's
the
not,
Tempest
because
cards that we got earlier.
no, there are
Because
three
there it says
wordings. There are
stats.
3 wordings. There's like another creature, there's it, and there's a Windborn Hellion. The
What does
Wim
it say on Windborn Hand?
It says Windborn Hellion gains +1/+1. As far as I know.
Really?
Can you look this up? I can't
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm
I'm
currently on the
starting to
recording
myself.
side, but look it up, and we'll see. But I'm pretty sure this is Windborn Hellion gains. Either way, to be honest, whether it's the dinosaur that gains it or the actual Rex that gains it, I don't think this is that good. Simply because if you're playing dinosaurs, they need to add another really powerful dinosaur. Because currently you have Swamp Moss Lurker, Umber Clasher, and Thundersaur. But if you're playing Umber Clasher, which you should, you need to play it with Tempe, so that narrows down your options quite majorly. You can't play like UN dinosaurs, it has to be UT. It has to be UT dinosaurs with Weirwood Patriarchs and things like that. But Thundersaur is mandatory. Umber Clasher is mandatory. Swamp Moss is kind of awkward, but could be played, I guess, if you need the dinosaur. And they need to add like another powerful dinosaur for this is really powerful in my mind. Because the problem is that this is never enough of a threat to deal with. Like, if you play Thundersaur, they're going to kill the Thundersaur. They're not going to care about your stupid Rex. That's the problem. Like, the Rex is less threatening than another dinosaur in the deck, which should not really be how that works. Like, Windborn Hellion, you kill the Windborn Hellion because it's the most powerful thing on their board. The Rex, not so much. And that's the problem I have with it. It also dies to Cull the Weak a lot. Although
It's true.
it dies to Cull the Weak a lot, which is annoying. I mean, it feels kind of awkward. Although I do want to play dinosaurs, but I kind of wanted to play UN dinosaurs, but then you need Umber Clasher, so you can't play UN dinosaurs. You need to play UT. So,
Solforge is so slow.
so, so anyway, I don't know about the Pterodon Rex personally. I think it's kind of mediocre at best. I may be proven completely wrong, but we're gonna need some new dinosaurs before that happens.
That's true. Give me another thing.
Okay.
I need to open chests.
Da 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 da. Random thing though, I don't want to have to open a chest every single time I get 20 silver from winning an online game, by the way.
It's weird, yeah.
It's like 20 silver, stop the game for 20 seconds. I need my 20 silver. And that's what you do for 20 seconds. But
Windborn Hellion gets. Okay, interesting. So it's probably the other dinosaur.
I think it's the other dinosaur, which makes this worse.
Still weird wording then, because on the Tempest card
Really
wasn't
weird
different
wording.
wording.
It says, actually, I'll move on to the other Tempest card just to make sure. Where is it? Like,
The
Evoker.
was the Evoker, yeah.
It says that creature, which is much, much clearer wording.
Yeah.
So they still need to work on their wording a little bit. This is a little confusing. I'll test it when it comes out, but I'm pretty sure it means that the creature that you play gets the bonus, which makes this thing next to useless.
I think that would be worse than
It's
if the
so
Pterodon gets it
bad.
itself.
It's so bad if that's how that works. I mean,
Because if it's actually happening the other way around, like Windborn Hellion, you might be able to like grow the Pterodon Rex a bit. Not too much, but yeah.
it might
I guess
become a threat, is the point. But in the case
Yeah.
of the way we think it works, Thundersaur with +4/+4 at level 3, yay.
I think it has to work the other way around because the stats are so weird otherwise. Like it has Windborn Hellion stats almost.
I mean,
But we have to see. I'm actually not sure, and we are also kind of unprepared with this card because like 5 minutes ago, 5 minutes before we started the show, this card actually was like released.
yeah, there were 3 Utera cards, and it's like, oh, there's new Utera cards. I'm like, come on, we already have like 20. But yeah, we were kind of unprepared with this one, but it's just, I don't know what to make of this, to be honest. Like, it's just kind of, if it gets buffed by other dinosaurs, it's playable. Because it's a threat. And the other dinosaurs are so large that the stat increases don't do anything. But if this thing gets larger, then it becomes like a threat on its own, which is nice.
That would be nice.
Also in draft, if you get like 5 Swamp Moss Lurkers with this, it's hilarious. But
That would be a nice turn one play in a dinosaur deck.
yeah, it would be
Get 2
pretty
triggers
nice,
out.
actually. You go like your Pterodon Rex, then you get your Thunderswords in line with your Weirwood Patriarchs, and then you're golden. But if it buffs the actual dinosaur being played, okay, Swamp Moss Lurker 9/5 and Umbert Glasher 7/5, they both die to Gargoyle and Matrix Warden and anything buffed by Battle Tactician and Lightning Spark and Dreadbolt, and they just die to everything.
We will update you guys on next week's show.
If we get a clarification on this, which I will attempt to get, I will see if I
Or
can
in the
get one.
comments.
Yeah, if you know about this, by the way, put it in the comments as well. If you know like how this works, for sure. If we find out, if we forget on next week's video, we'll just put it in the comment section. But I'm not sure how this works. Either way, I don't think it's that powerful. But if it gets buffed, it's better than if it buffs the other dinosaurs, I think. Anyway, on to the last card, because they want poison to matter. Now, the quality on this is horrible, and I apologize for that, but it's because I had to rip it off a video last second. Thank you, Mr. Certain people I'm not going to mention.
Really good draft first pick, probably.
With Venom Fangs, it's ridiculous. Anyway,
Extremely good
and
draft
even the
first
stats are insane. Like 4/8, not 7, 8.
pick.
4/8.
Is this the only card with 4/8 stats?
No, Alpha. Alpha also has 4/8. But
Oh yeah.
4/8, 7, 11, 13, 17. Weird stats, guys. Really weird stats. A bit of a common theme in Utera so far. Anyway, weird stats. At the end of each turn, double end. Not beginning, end is important. Double the poison on each creature an opponent controls. Now, it doubles it and then they take the damage as far as I know, because poison, I think, is at the beginning of every turn, not end. Because the armor...
I hope it works that way, because otherwise...
Yeah, armor is start of turn, and poison... Yeah, armor is start of turn, and poison gets blocked by armor, but the gargoyle loses its armor at start of turn, so the poison goes through gargoyle armor. Some really weird interactions. I may even do a show on that at some point. Like, there's some really weird interactions with poison. But, double poison on each creature. Now, the level 3 gives every creature an opponent controls, when you play him, 1 poison, and then it doubles poison at the end of every turn. So basically, end of every turn, they get double the poison over and over and over and over and over. So if you go
Kind of nice.
Noxious Scale, or Noxious
Cloud.
Noxious Cloud, you know, the card that no one plays because it's useless. And then
Literally no one.
no one. Then you go not even in draft. And then you go Venom Netherscale. Then it becomes 2 damage AoE. And that turns into 4 before it goes into your turn. And then it doubles again.
Actually, kind of nice.
And like if you play the level 3 one, it's 5 poison plus this 12 poison AoE. Like, it actually works. It's a little sort of cutesy, but it actually works.
What's going on with the level 3 art? Like, the face gets like, I don't know.
What's weird? What's wrong with the art in general on this card, actually? That's not even the quality that's doing it. The art is actually pretty clear. Like, what's going on with his face? In just all of them. But yeah, this guy, he's pretty good. I'm not sure how good. It depends on the rest of stuff. Like, Venom Fang is already seeing play. So Venom Fang could be very, very good with this guy. I mean, if you play level 3 Venom Fang with any of these on the board, the important thing is even the level 1 doubles poison. So you can be played under leveled, which is nice. But level 3 Venom Fang puts 4 poison on something, so you can turn it into 8, which is actually hitting pretty hard. And this will even work with a new poison card, turns it into 8 poison, but again, Venom Fang has a 13-12 attached to it. So, yeah, or is it 14-13? 13-12 is Magma Hound. I've been playing with that card way too much recently. But, yeah, it basically turns Venom Fang into an absolute monster, which is the important bit. And even Noxious Cloud gets played. Even Toxic Spore, like, can be played with this thing. 24 poison. That will kill a Scrapforge Titan in 2 hits, by the way. Once you get poison to absurd, levels, it gets pretty insane. Like, the more poison you have, it's kind of like armor. Armor and poison are really, really bad in small amounts, but the more of them you have, the more and more effective each extra point is. And that's sort of how I feel like with this card. I definitely think there's going to be a poison deck. Maybe we'll get like a legendary that puts poison on stuff. That'd be interesting. If we get like a legendary with poison, I think you can play like Venom Fang and Noxious Cloud and like Epidemic with Nether Skill, because Epidemic's actually pretty good at cutting through armor. Play like you could actually play a Utera like Necrium control deck. Play a Utera Necrium control deck. That's cool. I think that's cool. You can even poison your own guys, but like you can only poison your own guys with like your spell poisons, unfortunately, and that would only be relevant with Thundersaur, which is why I bring it up. Poison your own Thundersaur, go to town, because it keeps taking damage and keeps getting larger.
Some poison variants, because we didn't see it with set 1
at all. There's some good poison cards, kind of meh.
Yeah, but it didn't really make it into constructed, except
correction. There's one good poison card, which is Venom Fang.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, we've got basically 5 minutes before we hit an hour and a half. It's a really, really long show, which I kind of expected. Any favorites, Moon, out of all of these?
Dude, so many cards.
There's so many of them.
It's probably the Evoker for me, because I like mobility decks.
Okay. I would say Korok, but I've already talked about Korok. And
yeah, I mean, I don't want to pick a forgeborn.
Yeah, Korok and Cersei are just insane. So what I am going to do, I am in fact going to pick the Uranti Warlord. Because Yeti Tribal. I'm going to build a Yeti Tribal deck when the set comes out. That's the first thing I'm doing. If I get my Uranti Warlords, I'm going to be like rare drafting my Uranti Warlords, by the way, just to build this deck.
Yep.
Love Uranti Warlord. He's so good. And I just...
Your gargoyles probably won't be that strong anymore.
I mean, Glacial Crush is like a metagame scalpel for the Gargoyle. Although, I mean, it kills Gargoyle, but then I'm pretty happy because I've been playing with Gargoyle for ages, and I kind of like the card, but I like playing with the card, hate playing against the card, and I hate Thundersaur, so I'm kind of glad Glacial Crush is coming into the game.
Gargoyle is just such a good blocker.
Yeah, Glacial Crush I think is the most important card here. Like, Korok and Cersei are the most powerful because they're Forgeborn, that's kind of how it's supposed to be. But, Glacial Crush I think is the most metagame impacting.
Looks like yeah. Like,
the Tempest decks now have an answer to Gargoyle, which is important.
Which was needed.
It really was. It also kills random stuff, like the new Sower.
Yeah.
And Heart Tree. Like...
Oh, nice, it kills Heart Tree, yeah.
It kills Heart Tree.
I hate Heart Trees.
Yeah, it kills Heart Tree for free. It kills Gargoyles. It kills like Thundersaurs if you give them defensive with your anti-bolt, which is very easy.
Delegated, which might be changed. I think. I hope it doesn't get changed, but
I hope it doesn't, because I think it's a necessary effect. But I mean, it kills a bunch of stuff. That's the important bit. It makes Energy Prison viable. Energy Prison until you get a Glacial Crutch. Like
okay.
that UT deck that I'm trying to make work. Okay, I get my anti-everything card now.
There's a couple really interesting cards.
Yeah, I really like the spoilers. Yeah, Evoker's really, really nice, I think. This Evoker. Again, he's better than Windborn Hellion in my mind. But anyway. And the other one's like Flame Lance. Flame Lance is nuts. But there's so many good cards in set 2 from what I've seen. There's some really weird ones like Mimicleave. And Uranti Heartseeker. And just odd things getting too much hype like Mimicleave. Anyway, but I actually do think set 2 is looking very, very promising. So far, the percentage of constructed playable cards has been much, much higher than set 1, which is to be expected because it's only 100 cards. It's a 100 card set.
Yeah, and they previewed like a quarter of it right now?
I think we've got 30 cards total.
A bit more of a quarter, okay.
I think by the time the set gets released, we'll probably have like 60 of them spoiled, and then we'll do like a full set review and just go through most of the cards that we've already talked about quickly. But anyway, thank you all for watching and sitting through the longest video I think I've ever done on the channel. I'm gonna break that record at some point, but also has Moon in it.
Not our fault. Stoneblade is just so fast with releasing
Spoilers.
preview.
Yeah, but I think like my top 5 longest videos all have you in it, because they're like all patch reviews.
Sorry guys.
They're all patch reviews and like previews and things like that. But anyway, thank you all for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. If you have any feedback, put it in the comment section below. Or if you know how that stupid dinosaur works, put it in the comment section below. This has been Jotto and Moon.
Bye guys.
Signing off.